How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another Yankees recap video here on Infinite Sports. I'm your host, Kenneth Gruenfelder, and it was a big night in New York sports. I hope you all tuned in to the Knicks Game 2 recap video with Ben from earlier today. But yeah, it was a big night in New York sports. The Yankees also picking up a series win against the San Diego Padres, who are one of the best teams in baseball. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, like the Knicks' comeback win last night against the Celtics, because the Yankees just could not hit. Last night it was Dylan Cease against Max Fried, and once again Max Fried pitched very well. And once again the Yankees win a game that Max Fried pitches. They still have not lost a game that Max Fried has started. But Dylan Cease, who came into this game with a high ERA, I mean, he had his way with the Yankees lineup. They just could not hit him. You know, he had a no-hitter going into the seventh inning, and then Cody Bellinger hits a home run into the second deck, which put that to bed and tied the game at 1, because there really wasn't a lot of scoring in this game. The Padres got things started with the Jackson Merrill homer off of Max Fried in, I think it was in the fourth inning. Yeah, it was in the top of the fourth inning. Fried kind of left a hanging pitch right down the middle, and Jackson Merrill had a pretty good game. He took that into the Yankees bullpen, so that put the Padres up 1-0. Then, like I said, Bellinger ties the game later in the seventh inning, and that was the Yankees' first hit of the game. And Dylan Cease left the game. I don't know if he was dealing with an injury of some kind, but I didn't really get a chance to look. But they took him out of the game, and then they handed it off to the Padres bullpen. And before that, we get to the top of the eighth inning, and Ian Hamilton ran into a little bit of trouble, put guys on base. They put in Luke Weaver, and then the Padres put up a two-spot in that inning, and that led to them leading 3-1 going into the bottom of the eighth. And I just, again, didn't feel good about the Yankees coming back into the game. Once again, you know, the bullpen gives up runs, and you know, the Padres, one of the best teams in the league for a reason. So yeah, Ian Hamilton, both runs were charged to him. Luke Weaver did give up the hits that led to the two runs. So Ian Hamilton finished with 2 earned runs. He had a couple of walks in the inning, and Luke Weaver gave up a hit. He did come back out to pitch the ninth inning, pitch the scoreless ninth inning. But we went into extra innings, and as we all know, the Yankees struggle in extra innings. But they were able to get through the top of the 10th, and you know why? Because of Devin Williams. Now, was he spectacular? No. But what he was able to do is got himself into trouble, and he got himself out of it. Because he did give up a walk, and he also hit Jackson Merrill. So he put guys on base, but he was able to get out of it. He struck out the side. And it was not easy. It was a tall task because he struck out Fernando Tatis, he struck out Manny Machado, and he struck out Xander Bogaerts. And the airbender was working. The fastball really wasn't, but the airbender was working, and that was it. And he was able to get out of the top of the 10th inning because of that. And you saw the emotion after he struck out Bogaerts. I mean, look, we talk about body language and, you know, how he's looked in the press conferences and when they pan to him, whether he's in the dugout or whether he's on the pitcher's mound. But, I mean, you got to love the body language last night. And he picked up his first win of the season, believe it or not. So then we go to the bottom of the 10th inning. And Jason Dominguez is the ghost runner, the Manfred man, on second. Oswaldo Cabrera is able to bunt successfully. So Dominguez goes to third. And what the Yankees ended up doing... Actually, I forgot to... Wait, we got to go back. Because I forgot to mention, how did the Yankees get 3 runs to tie the game? I skipped ahead, guys. I apologize for that. But, so Padres put up a 3-spot, or put up 2 runs to make it 3-1 going into the 8th inning. So what ends up happening is Oswaldo Cabrera walks, and then Trent Grisham pinch hits for Yorbit Vivas, who's kind of had a rough series. He hits a 2-run homer to tie the game. Trent Grisham has just been unbelievable. And, you know, that was his only at bat. They didn't bring him in defensively, so they put Peraza in to play second. So that's what happened in the bottom of the 8th. So the Yankees tied the game in the bottom of the 8th. scoreless ninth inning for Luke Weaver, and then we went into extras. We talked about Devin Williams, and he was able to get out of trouble that he caused by striking out the side. It's unbelievable. So yeah, now we're back into where we just were because I forgot to mention Trent Grisham tying the game. So Oswaldo Cabrera lays down a successful bunt, and then because the Yankees bench is so thin, they sent up J.C. Escarra, and you're like, please just put the ball in play, just get the ball in the air, and Dominguez can score. And that's exactly what happened. J.C. Escarra hits a sac fly, and Dominguez scores, and the Yankees win 4-3, and they take 2 out of 3 from the Padres, which, I mean, that was a big series win against a very good team, and they were able to get to the bullpen. Back-to-back nights, they were able to get to the bullpen, which is one of the best in baseball. We talked about this. And, how they were reeling from the late inning collapse in the first game, the blown game in the first game, and just having not won a series. This was huge. And we saw Devin Williams crack a smile in the celebration when he hugged J.C. Escarra. You saw a smile because I have not seen him smile once. And to see that, all good vibes after this series win. And that's big, I was saying to myself when Devin Williams came in for the 10th inning with the guy on base, I'm saying he's gonna blow this game for them. And we were talking about how we didn't want him to be in these high leverage situations because once again, he had the meltdown in the first game, creating traffic on the bases, and then the Padres end up getting those 2 runs in the first game. You're like, all right, well, you got to put him in a game where the Yankees are up by a lot. And Aaron Boone didn't do that. Aaron Boone said, you're pitching in the 10th inning. And, yeah, he got himself into trouble, but he was able to get out of it. And also the Yankees' bullpen was a little thin last night. So that's the other reason why Devin Williams came into the game. So, look, you hope that continues. Devin Williams can build off of this. Similar to what we were saying prior to the implosion in the first game against the Padres when he was pitching, in the 8th inning. You hope that this can be a confidence booster and that we can get the Devin Williams that we were expecting to get when the Yankees made the trade to acquire him because it just only makes the bullpen that much better. And don't look now, but Jonathan Loaisiga is on the horizon. He's coming back soon. So that's another big-time arm that the Yankees will be adding to this bullpen. But you got to seeing J.C. Escarra and, his story, him hitting that sac fly for the walk-off. You just love that. His Yankee teammates were all happy, that he was able to do that. He was happy. We're happy. It was just a great night. But, the Yankees bench is a little thin. We're hoping to get some guys back soon. DJ LeMahieu is coming back soon, hopefully. And then Giancarlo Stanton is targeting a June return. Now, could he be back for that Dodgers series? I know I've brought that up. I mean, I know it's the very end of May, and then the last game is June 1st, so maybe he comes back for that series. Maybe not. It would be nice. But you really, you got to be happy with the Yankees getting this series win against a good team. This team should have a much better record than they do, but it's because of all those blown games, that this is their record right now. But hey, they're in first place. The teams in their division continue to lose. The Red Sox won today 5-0, but they're in a good spot right now. I actually did want to bring this up. So Aaron Judge earlier in the game, in the 5th inning, he dropped the fly ball. And yeah, the flashbacks came about when that happened. Now, it didn't amount to anything, but it's just the fact that he dropped the fly ball. Now, this time it was in right field. And he should have caught it. It was a little bit of a tougher catch than, it was more of a tough catch than the one in the World Series, which, that fell into your lap. But this one, it was an over-the-shoulder catch. He, didn't corral it. Nothing happened from it. But the fact that it was in the 5th inning and he dropped the ball, I had to bring that up, though. I didn't want to bring it up, but I wanted to bring that up because, I didn't want to bring it up, but I brought it up anyways. But yeah, that was a little blunder that happened, but it didn't lead to anything. And for the Yankees, this was their first win when trailing by 2+ runs in the eighth inning or later. So how about that? How about that? A couple of comeback wins. That's what you like to see because, prior to this series, when the Yankees are down late, you don't expect them to come back. But they did that. So that gives me confidence, and that should give you guys confidence about this team, being battle tested in the later innings. Padres also left 9 guys on base. There was a lot of traffic on the bases, but as my dog starts barking, I apologize for that. But Padres left a lot of guys on base, but they were only able to score 3 runs. So Yankees pitching, other than the first game, did well. It did well. So, yeah, now the Yankees are off day today. They'll be back tomorrow in Sacramento taking on the Athletics, not the Oakland A's, just the Athletics. So, and the A's have been playing pretty good. They've been playing pretty good right now in the early going. They do have a wild card spot. They got some good young players, in that lineup. Going to see an old buddy in Luis Severino and J.P. Sears, I believe, this weekend is pitching. So, yeah, hopefully the Yankees can win another series. I wore one of my Yankee hats today to celebrate the Yankees win from last night, their first walk-off of the year, and they still haven't hit a walk-off homer in over 960 something days. So hopefully that happens this year. Can someone do that, please? It's a weird thing, but yeah, you got to be happy with the Yankees picking up the win and picking up the series win, and they'll be back at it tomorrow out west, taking on, like I said, the Athletics. But let me know what you guys think about the game last night. Make sure to check out the Knicks Game 2 recap video that's out. And also, we are on Spotify and wherever you get your podcast. So if you look up Infinite Sports, you should find us there. We also have a presence on TikTok as well. The TikTok username is also Infinite Sports. Actually, let me just get the exact username because it's TikTok likes to create. Yeah, so it's infinite.sports1. That's the TikTok account. I got a couple of YouTube shorts. A few YouTube shorts on there as well. So social media presence there. So if you want to listen to us on the go, we're on Spotify. And of course, if you want to watch us, we're on YouTube as well. So make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We greatly appreciate it. And we will be back next time. I know I want to get into some Giants stuff. Haven't done that yet. The NFL schedule does come out next week, so watch out for episodes on that and more Yankee recap videos. And, hopefully more Knicks wins, too. So, enjoy the weekend, guys. There's going to be no video tomorrow, but enjoy the weekend. And go Yankees. I will talk to you guys next time. Take care.